Welcome back to another episode of Clark and Addison, Born into the Ivy. We are your hosts, David and Eli, and we're going to start things off with, I think we talked on the last episode that we're going to have three players we're going to highlight and talk about expectations for the season. Today's, we're going to start off with Ian Happ, and at the end of it, we're going to talk about Caleb Thielbar and Jameson Taillon. So, Ian Happ, what are your expectations for him, Eli, this year?
I think his stats will be pretty close to what they were last year. Hopefully, they're as good as they were towards the end of the season. I would love to see Ian Happ break out this year, but we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. I think his stats are probably going to be pretty similar. I'd like to see him get on base a little bit more. More like the 23 season with the 360. But his power he still had 21 home runs. In 23, he had 360 OPS, or on base percentage, I'm sorry. And the last 2 years, it's been 341 and 342. 360 is like the top end of what he's done consistently. But if he can, or even at just that 10 more points to get up to 350, I think would drive his OPS up quite a bit. You know what I mean? His OPS in 23 was 791, 782 in 24, 762. That's still respectable for sure, but it's just a slight bit worse than what he was. You know what I mean? He's still providing amazing defense. His WRC plus is still solid at 116. He's just he is what he is, and he's consistent as far as year in and year out. Where he's not consistent, and what's incredibly frustrating to me, is he'll disappear for a month and a half to 2 months, and then he's hot for a month. You know what I mean?
Right.
Hopefully they can figure out a way to get that more consistent. The dude's a pretty serious guy, so he's serious about the work that he puts in and the work ethic. I just get frustrated with the inconsistency throughout the season. I feel like they have too many players like that. Michael Bush was like that some, and I think all ball players go through that ebb and flow. It's just limiting the ebbs. You know what I mean? It's a long season. There's no way you can't not go through those ebb and flows.
Yeah.
But he and Seiya specifically, and I know we'll talk about Seiya another time, probably the next episode actually. But the two of them, if they're both going through it at the same time, and it's for a long period of time, that kills that lineup, especially when both of them are hitting in the middle of it. I think Seiya is probably more capable of fixing that a little bit. Do you agree?
I think both of them are about neck to neck. But yeah, I can see Seiya doing a little bit better.
But I think there's more upside with Seiya.
Yeah. If you think about it, Ian Happ has to go through rhythms for both sides of the plate. So yeah, I guess like Seiya has a little bit more of an advantage than Ian Happ does, but
I hear that a lot with pinch hitter or switch hitters. Thank you. I hear that a lot with switch hitters. So if it is that difficult, why are we switch hitting?
Right.
I'm not trying to be a jerk with that. I get it. I'm sure it is harder because you have to deal with both sides. I don't disagree that would be harder. But if it is not something that you can adjust with and handle, why are you doing it?
Well, I feel like Ian Happ would be better as a switch hitter just because, he'll be able to see the ball a lot better. And honestly, some months he hits better on one side than the other.
Agreed.
Yeah, so I think Ian Happ staying as a switch hitter is brilliant.
I'm not saying he shouldn't be a switch hitter. That's not what I mean. I'm saying I've heard him say what you just said. Well, you got to understand, I work on it from both sides. Well, I'll say this. You're a professional baseball player who gets paid almost $20 million a year, or right around $20 million a year. I don't think that we have to understand anything. if it's an excuse, why are you doing it? It shouldn't be an excuse. That's my thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I'm not trying to be a jerk about it with it, but I get really frustrated with Ian because of that. Like the ebbs are not just normal ebbs and flows to me. When he's bad for a while. When he's hot, he is as hot as anybody. There's no doubt about that. But I don't feel like. I mean, I think that the production the Cubs get for him year in and year out is worth the money they pay him. So, but I feel like they could. It just frustrates me. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to be too critical here. I think that if it is that he's paying too much attention to trying to do both sides, then just focus on one side and try and excel more with that. What he has turned himself into one of the best defenders in left field, period. And that's very undervalued, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Cubs being one of the best run prevention defenses in the league is an incredible advantage, and it makes the pitching staff, a la guys like Jameson Taillon, all the more better, and Shota, like guys who don't miss bats need that great defense, and that the Cubs partly have built a pitching staff knowing that. They got Cabrera. He's a guy who can miss bats a lot. Steele's a guy who can do that when he needs to. But I think Steele, when he comes back, he pitches a lot like Cade pitched in the latter half of the year. He'll get the strikeout when he needs to, but he'd rather get the weak contact all the time. And I love that because I feel like you're being more economic. Now, it didn't always work for Justin, but I think Justin had learned that some. Cade seemed to have learned it at a very young age. I think part of that was because he wanted to pitch a certain amount of innings, and they were saying you only have this many pitches. So he's like, if I want to get so far into this game, then I'm going to have to figure out a way to be more economical about it. And I think that because like he didn't miss bats, but he got a ton of weak contact last year. I think Ian does a good job of lowering that weak contact. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Let me look at his advanced stats. What was his? So his expected slugging was 457. He was actually 420. His expected average was 350. No, that's not average. Whoa, but so his expected average was 256. So that's 13 points, 37. That's 0.5 more that would have been added to his OPS. So maybe I am being too hard on him. Maybe he hit into some bad luck. Wrigley Field is not conducive to left-handed power. Right. Unless it's like insane power. I should go look at his. I should have done this before, but I wonder what his stats are like home and away. You know what I mean?
Right.
Sorry. Like I said, I should have done this sooner. I would bet that his numbers are better on the road than at home last year. Agree?
Yeah, probably.
And if that's the case, then maybe that is just a case of no. He was better at home. Maybe it is like kind of like Dansby, like just hitting into some bad luck last year a lot. So, yeah, his OPS was 687. No, that's not right. OPS was 728 on the road and 800 at home. His walk rate went up quite a bit too at home. So maybe that's just adjusting to other parks. I don't know. He's a very, don't get me wrong. Like if you told me of all the left fielders in the National League, like there's very few that I would pick over Ian, but there are some, and I think the Cubs have the means to get those kinds of players. That's what's frustrating to me at times too. All right, I'll stop ripping Ian. If you listened to me last year, I don't think it's too big of a surprise that I'm ripping him. But I really do appreciate the consistency on defense of the young man. You know what I mean? I think he's an excellent defender.
Very good defensively.
And I think he's very underrated too. Even though he's been he's won a Gold Glove 4 times in a row. I still think he's underrated and underappreciated for it. I also think I don't think that they're going to be leading him off again, but I don't think he's suited for that. I know he walks a lot. I think that was probably the mindset. Hey, this guy walks a lot. We can move Nico into some other spots. I don't think he's comfortable either. You know what I mean?
I think it depends on the situation for Nico. I think some days he does all right if he's going against a left-handed pitcher.
I mean, Nico was much better in the second half last year.
Mm-hmm.
And he let off a lot during that time. I would like to see him and Bush in that role again this year.
Right. Me too.
Did you hear about the Tyler Austin injury?
No.
So Tyler Austin had surgery on Wednesday, I think it was, for right patellar tendon debridement and is expected to be out for months.
Ooh.
I don't think that they're giving an ETA right now. Counsel said that Austin's knee had been bothering him for a while, and it wasn't responding. How do you think this impacts the Cubs? Who do we think this creates an opportunity for?
What do you think? I don't really think much of it.
So my biggest concern is who's going to hit against. So if I think that the plan is to give Bush every opportunity to hit against lefties on a regular basis as well. But if he struggles the first couple of months or month to month and a half, that could go away. You know what I mean? So if they're wanting that to go away, who's going to fill that void?
Yeah, well, since Jonathan Long's out now too, because he was a right-handed hitter, wasn't he?
He's out, and we're going to talk about that situation here soon. In fact, why don't we just go to that? Jonathan Long will now be missing the World Baseball Classic (WBC) for Team Chinese Taipei. According to Bleacher Nation, counsel said that Long's recovery, from the left elbow strain is going a little slower than everyone would like to see. The experience, both professionally and personally, would have been huge for him to represent them. He is expected back this spring, though. Like, they think it's more of he wasn't going to be ready to amp up with them, and so it was going to be more of a hindrance. But I think that he probably misses another half week to a week, is what it sounded like. Not guaranteed. But Long struggled some against lefties too last year. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was like the one bugaboo for him. Because he had an excellent year last season. I'm trying to bring up that so I can see those splits for him. But I know he struggled, and that's really kind of where they need him. Now, I do believe that Jonathan Long is able to play in the outfield as well. Do you remember if that's accurate?
Yes, I think it was right field.
Okay, that's what I thought. Apparently, I can't see versus lefty on Fangraphs. So, I'll do my homework about that later. But I do think it creates a possibility for Jonathan to make the team. Now, if they're okay with him playing a part-time role. This is only his third season in the system, so it may be a situation where they'd rather he get more regular at-bats. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, then I know that Miguel Amaya is taking some reps. That was something, apparently taking infield reps at first base in case there's a need, according to Bruce Levine. Amaya told Levine that he has played and practiced the position a lot in the minors as well. This comes as a contingency for backing up Michael Busch, as both Long and now Austin are afflicted with injuries, with the latter being out for quite a while. Ballesteros has also done so, but he bats left-handed, like Busch, and would not be a good option to platoon in that situation if need be. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Amaya has also struggled a little bit against lefties, but it's been a very small sample size. Last year, the year before, he was better against lefties than in 25, but it still wasn't great. Like, he hits righties much better than lefties. But I think I'd like it to be him instead of like Amaya, or if Long can't, they don't want Long in that part-time role. I think Amaya could do what they needed against like really tough lefties, and then Busch come in when the lefty's out. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I agree.
What do you think about the Long idea? Provided we think he's healthy at opening day.
I mean, if you have Ballesteros, I mean, you might as well give him, he should be the main guy. But if he doesn't do too well, I mean, you could always bring up Jonathan Long for...
This isn't Long taking over for Ballesteros. It's Long more of a bench bat and maybe playing some corner outfield spots and or first base a little bit.
I don't know how well Jonathan Long is defensively.
I mean, he's all right. He's solid. He's certainly not Michael Busch defensively, but
right. Although, again, I don't know how Ballesteros really is at the first base position.
Being only his third year in the system, do you think he might be better suited still, though, to stay at AAA to get regular at-bats?
Yeah, probably.
I tend to lean that way, too, but I'd really like to see what he can do in the majors, too.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is there's not really an opening right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I also think possibly it creates more of an opportunity for a guy like Dylan Carlson, Chas McCormick, Michael Conforto, because there's now 2 bench spots open, not just the one. You know what I mean? Austin wasn't guaranteed a bench spot, but he had an inside track type towards it. Jordan Wicks has also been dealing with forearm inflammation. There is no UCL concerns, so we're not worried about Tommy John right now. And they're expecting him just to miss more days than weeks. I don't know if this impacts the major league team right now, but it could impact their depth, depending on how long this persists for him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think that he's probably the last man on the totem pole of like the 9 or 10 guys that they have. You know what I mean? I would put him below Ben Brown, wouldn't you?
Jordan Wicks?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
And definitely below Assad.
I had high hopes for Jordan Wicks. I thought he was going to be pretty solid.
I think Jordan can be. I don't know. I like him. You know what I mean? I think that...
remember when he first came to this show, he did pretty good from the starting position.
Yes. Yeah, and he's kind of struggled every year since in the up and down. Maybe that's part of it, the up and downs. He's not really being kind of thrown in there and given a chance. Like a true, hey man, this is your role. You know what I mean? On Wednesday, Foul Territory was at Cubs camp, and they asked PCA about a possible extension. He confirmed that there has been discussions and that there will be more. He said neither side is in a huge rush, and he is very happy to be a Cub. When I listened to his interview, I kind of got, he didn't say this, but I kind of got the feeling that he finds it more important right now for the front office to try and re-sign guys like Seiya, Ian Happ, Nico Horner, guys like that, who are going to be free agents after this year. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And I think that that's pretty cool, to be honest. Don't you?
Yeah, it gives me the shoot, what's his name? Jose Ramirez vibes.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
Which I like a lot.
Also on Wednesday against the Rockies via Megan Montemero, Matt Shaw made a play on a ball that was hit to right center field. It was carrying from right to center field, and he got his glove on a ball but couldn't hold on to it. Afterwards, he and PCA had a brief chat about it. This is the kind of thing that spring ball is supposed to help with and give more live reps, especially for a guy who's learning a new position, right?
Mhm.
On Thursday, Shaw was asked about the play, and he said it seemed like a ball that PCA would likely get, but the angle and the sun, and they said that sun down in Arizona is insane.
Oh
And the
yeah, I was
angle,
watching Max Clark getting some fly balls, and he wasn't seeing anything. I
yeah,
think it happened to him twice.
that's great. The PCA wasn't able to see it because of that. PCA told him, look, man, don't worry about it. If I can get to it, I'll call you off. Anytime you think that a ball you might be able to get to, go after it and go after it aggressively. So I think that it was a good learning moment for Matt. I think that Shaw fell into some same kind of thing that Kyle Tucker did last year. It's PCA, he'll get it. You know what I mean? Because Kyle wasn't anything what we expected defensively and what he has been in the past. That's for
Mhm.
sure. And I know he struggled offensively in the second half. Attribute that to the injury. Who knows? But defensively, like my biggest thing with that, I didn't feel like his effort was huge there either. Did you? Yeah.
Kyle
And
Tucker doesn't
I
really
have a
show it.
hard time questioning a professional athlete's effort like that. But
Mhm.
it certainly didn't look like he was giving his all the time. And they even said that on Marquee at times. You know what I mean? So I think that was a great learning moment for Matt. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think it's also great for PCA to help show some of that leadership, especially at the young age. I get Shaw and he are probably pretty similar, but I think that's a big thing. You know what I mean?
hmm
Cade Horton had his spring debut on Wednesday and was just amazing. Did really,
Okay.
really well. That was one of the few bright spots pitching wise from that game because they gave up 14 runs. But Phil Maton and Hunter Harvey also pitched pretty well in that game. However, Taillon gave up 2 homers. Caleb Thielbar and Luke Little also gave up a home run. Luke Little had 3 walks in that game as well. After his first outing that was so good, he really struggled in that outing. Little was just, he was all over the place. If you look at his pitch chart, like, it was just holy crap.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't just missing on one side or high, or it was literally all the freaking over the place. It was insane. You know what I mean?
Hit those corners probably.
Maybe, but like that first outing, he was really good about hitting the zone quite a bit, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Disappointing. Hopefully, he gets that corrected, and it's just a little blip. Nico Horner and Ian Happ each have a video of an average day in the life of Ian Happ. Nico Horner, did you see him?
Yeah, I did. I saw both.
They're pretty cool, aren't they?
hmm
Uh, they're both narrating each other's video as well, and they're something you should check out if you might be interested. Pretty cool, in my opinion. I thought it was really cool stuff. Matthew Boyd had his lost start yesterday before heading off for the World Baseball Classic and looked really good again. Hopefully he kicks some butt and stays healthy. That's the biggest thing. Want him to do well, want Team USA to do well, but man, I hope that our guys stay healthy as crap. I hope all the guys stay healthy. Don't get me wrong. But, like, specifically the Cubs, because that's who we're fans of. So, but I'm really excited. Are you excited about the World Baseball Classic?
I am. I hope I'm able to watch it.
Fair, man. I get that. And then today's game, Edward Cabrera made his debut today and was absolutely fantastic. He went 2 innings, 3 Ks, didn't allow a extra at bat. 6 up, 6 down. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Had 2 perfect innings, 3 Ks. Really, really good. And then, do you know who Carson Wolf is? He has a Twitter page or X page called The Wrigley Wire. The dude has got all kinds of stats. You should follow that. Do you have Twitter,
Yeah.
Eli? Check it out.
Yes, I do.
I'll send it to you, okay? This guy, he's got all kinds of great stats. Anybody who might be listening, if you're not following this guy, follow him. Fantastic stats. The 3 strikeouts today was on fastball, changeup, and changeup. The fastball at 96.9, the 2 changeups at 93.9 and 94.5 miles an hour.
It makes me so happy to hear that he's striking out with the fastball. The pitch that he really struggled with last year gets me excited.
Yes. Carson Wolf also said that Daniel Palencia looked fantastic today. He had 1 inning, 2 Ks, 83% whiff. That's insane. He had 5 whiffs off of 6 swings. That's amazing. The 40% chase rate. So his ball was moving. And then one last stat that Carson Wolf had put out there. The Cubs have definitely made some tweaks to Ryan Rolison's arsenal. He was throwing the fastball harder and had more horizontal break on his off-speed pitches than what he did at all last year. So that's fantastic too. He's a guy, he was a first-round pick for the Rockies in 2018 and has not lived up to that at all. But the talent is there. He wouldn't have been a first-round pick otherwise. You know what I mean? And it's not a situation where the Rockies had gone reaching. Like, he was projected to go in the first round and everything else. So, Caleb Thielbar. What kind of expectations do you have for Caleb Thielbar this year, Eli?
I mean, yesterday didn't look too good for him. I'm just going to say that.
But I think that was his first outing of the year, too.
Mm-hmm. It was. I think he'll be all right. I don't know if he'll be as good as he was last year. Last year he did an amazing job on the bump.
He did. Last year he had an ERA of 2.64. His expected ERA was 2.48. So he was, based off of what he did and the contact he allowed and everything, he should have had an even better ERA than what he had.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like he had a ton of luck. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, his velocity was down a little bit from the previous year, but his ERA was a ton better. His ERA in 24 was by far the worst ERA he's ever had. For his career, he's got a 3.26 ERA. If we can get that kind of guy, or like in the mid threes, I'm happy with Caleb. If Caleb repeats the year he just had, man, he'll blow me away. And in my expectations, I don't expect him that was probably one of the best years he's ever had. It was the best year he's ever had outside of his rookie season in 2013. No, I apologize. 2020 was, but I don't count 2020. Not too much. I mean, I counted a little bit, but it was so different than what normal baseball is.
There's no home field advantage.
No home field advantage. It was it's only 60 games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just so different than what normal season is. That it counts, but it doesn't. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I said, I think if this guy can be in the mid threes, I'm ecstatic with him. Would you agree?
Oh yeah.
I think he'll probably be the primary lefty, like the guy that they really lean on, at least early on. And you know how, I mean, that can, all those things are so volatile with bullpens, and things change so much throughout the year. You know what I mean? But Caleb was that from start to finish last year, and I'm hoping he can do that again this year. What about Jameson? What are your expectations for him? Do you think Jameson is kind of the number 5 guy on this rotation?
Yeah.
I do too.
Know. He's not looking.
For Jameson to be the number 5, I think that's pretty impressive.
It is very impressive. But I don't think it's looking too good. Not with JMO at all.
I mean, I don't think he had great spring numbers last year either.
Well, again, he started getting better second half of the season. He started cooking with oil in the second half, and
he started the year pretty good last year too.
Did he?
Yeah. Then it warmed up a little bit, and he struggled some. And what's the difference in Arizona right now? It's warming up a little bit, right?
Right.
Those fly balls are going to fly out of there much better than they will in Wrigley.
And it's dry there.
Yeah. But the 2 pitches he allowed a home run on the other day, they were right freaking down the middle, man.
Some Ben Brown homers?
Yes. Yeah. Like they weren't placed, and they were fastballs too. So, yes, wholeheartely, some Ben Brown homers from last year.
Yeah.
100%. That's a great
example. 91, 90, yeah. 89, 90 mile an hour fastball.
That's the other part. Jameson don't throw as hard as Ben.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? So it makes it even easier to get to. I think that Jameson, I think it's unfair to expect Jameson to pitch as well as he did last year.
Right. But
even in 24. As long as he doesn't revert back to the Jameson of 23, his first year, I think we're good. If he's in the mid to like that 3.5 to 3.9 ERA as the 5, I think we're going to be fine with him. That's my expectations. That's my need and what I think the Cubs need from Jameson Taillon this year. He doesn't have to be. Yeah, I mean, at one point last year, because of all the injuries, he was considered the ace. Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
After all the injuries went down and before Cade was really taken off and everything, he was kind of considered the ace of the stack, and that's kind of a scary thought. Nothing against Jameson. I like Jameson. I think he does great for what his talent is.
Mm-hmm.
I'll also say this. I think he's working on a kick change quite a bit this spring, and that might be throwing his rhythm off some. I don't know. With the veteran guys who are established, that kind of thing happens where they just go out and, hey, I want you to worry him, set up the kick change, throw that more. And I don't know if that's happening. I think that it's a possibility. But I also think that it's a product of being in Arizona, and that's not a conducive place for a pitcher like Jameson, where the ball's going to travel much better than in the dense cold in Wrigley. You know what I mean? It's just not a good place for him. So, he's a free agent after this year too. So that's something for him to keep in mind. if he doesn't stay with Chicago. I would love to see Jameson stay with Chicago.
Oh yeah, me too.
At the right price.
But I don't think the Cubs will sign him again.
I am inclined to agree with that.
Unless he's cheap. Then we might.
What do you mean by cheap?
Oh, probably. Hopefully we can get him for 8.
That ain't happening.
You don't think so?
No.
I think he's worth 8.
I'd get 12 to 15 for him. but I
He
think
would?
he probably can command from another team closer to 20.
Yeah, I don't think he's worth it.
So there were some other
Although
numbers.
I don't think a lot of players are worth anywhere close to what they get.
I mean, agree. So when I say that, I mean in today's market of, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Jameson, I think could probably command about 20 million from a pitch needy team. So
Rockies.
yeah, I mean he's way better than almost all of what they have.
Mm-hmm.
But he would get rocked out there, dude.
Yeah.
I wonder what his numbers are out there. That'd be fun to look up. But on our next episode, we will talk about Seiya Suzuki, Cade Horton, and whatever reliever Eli says right now.
Hunter Harvey.
I like that. It's kind of funny because I was actually thinking he or Palencia. So,
Yeah, I was thinking Valencia too, but I wanted to switch it up. We talked about those guys a lot last year.
all right.
I kind of want to mix it up with some new guys.
I like that. I like it. The goal is eventually to cover everybody before spring training is over. So, thank you very much.
On the 40 man?
Huh?
On the 40 man or like everybody on
the guys that we think are going to start or start out on the opening day roster, and maybe some fringe guys as well, especially fringe bullpen guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit all the buttons. Leave some comments. Please leave some comments. We would love that. We would love to interact with you and enjoy doing that kind of stuff. So, thank you very much. Everybody have a great day, and let's go Cubbies.
Go Cubbies.